What's going on, everybody? My name's Dave. Welcome to another exciting episode of Crypto Awesome. And today we're going to be talking with the Flux team. You guys need to hear this. This protocol has 128% buy pressure. No, 128.8% buy pressure. And we're going to get into what that looks like. We're going to talk about the white paper. So you guys need to stay to the very end of this. And let's get going. All right, everybody, what is going on? We have the founders of Flux here on this stream with us today. So thank you so much for being here, Bad Sports. We got Scotty Blaze also.
Hello.
How you guys doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. In fact, Eric's been pushing everybody to post like 1 million times a day. And now he's like saying, all right, if you like something, you got to also repost it again. So I've been getting a little bit of Twitter obsessed today. But, it's kind of fun because we have such a killer audience. We have a killer crew, a great community. And you guys are about to launch on Titan X. This whole launching on Titan X thing, build on Titan X is amazing because it gives everybody stuff to do with their Titan X. Now, I love what you got. I'm going to quickly say something, but I want to let you guys talk here mostly. But I love Inferno. I'm like loving it. And it is like seriously one of my most favorite protocols that I've interacted with in the Titan X ecosystem so far. And now Inferno's about to stop minting. It's about to get capped, which is there's only 3 more cycles left. So people, if you're not in on Inferno yet, you guys got to check it out. You got 3 more cycles to get some Inferno, because now Flux is coming up on top of this, and we're going to talk about mechanics, but Flux is going to be burning the capped supply of Inferno, plus a lot more than that. In fact, one of the things I want to start with, guys, is this. Hey, if you guys have not followed at Flux_DeFi, go to X right now, give them a follow, make sure you're following them, because this is a massive alpha you're going to hear today. So here we got, do you want to learn how every single transaction into the auction adds 128.8% buy pressure into the Flux Inferno LP? My answer is yes, I do want to know that. So let's how about we just start there?
Yeah. So essentially, without going, we'll get deeper into the mechanics of it all as we get through the stream. But essentially, from day 2, every transaction or every participation that comes into that auction, if you come in with $1,000, for let's break it down to a simple example. You come into the auction with $1,000. There is 50% of that goes off to buy and max stake Flux from the Inferno Flux LP, and there's a percentage that goes off into Flux buy and burn, which is 36%. So you've got these two massive buy pressures on the token that's taken from the deposit of the Titan X. But what we've done is the set amount of emissions that come from the auction is it's an X amount of value with there's 128.8% buy pressure that comes from that deposited Titan X value that's pushed back into the LP. So the amount of token value that can come out within the auction from the auction, so the emitted tokens through the daily emission, there's on the other side, there's 128.8% of buy pressure on that value that can come out in the auction. So it's very complicated to get into words, but it's actually a really simple mechanic. It's essentially taking X amount of value out of the Titan X deposit, buying a huge chunk of it from the LP, and that equates to 128% on top of what can come out from the auction. So that's my way of explaining it.
Wow.
I think it can sound very technical, but once you're in the UI, we've got all the ROIs shown, we've got everything separated out. It's going to be really, really straightforward and simple to follow. This was one of Scott's babies that he came up with. So maybe Scott can dig into that a little bit better. But yeah, I think it's it sounds complex, but really behind the scenes, it's huge buy pressure on Flux, which you've not really seen in an auction protocol before.
Sweet.
Yeah, so if you don't mind, I might repeat exactly what Josh has said, but I'll try and say it in a different way. So obviously, Blaze is an auction. We've seen auctions in different ecosystems before, and but one thing I did notice with auctions is they're that good. There isn't a reason really to buy and market unless you're last minute trying to get into the payout pools. So that's what we've sort of tried to come up with an answer to. And basically, yeah, to use Josh's analogy, if you put $1,000 in, $500 will go straight buy on market, and then it will be max staked, which will be constantly max staked. So at the end of that max stake, it will max staked again. So it's basically burn. And because of the way auctions work, the same amount will come out, the same dollar value will come out of the auction for the next day as the dollar value that will be bought and max staked. So that's where your 100% buy pressure comes from. And then the 28.8% comes from the fact we've got a 36% buy and burn. But this is going a bit too much into the weeds. But of that 36% buy and burn, 20% of it will just straight burn the Inferno. So that gives us the 28.8. So basically, the 128.8% is 128.8% of what will come out of that day's auction.
Wow, that is like math, man. That is so cool. I mean, I actually like one of a whole bunch of the mechanics actually that you guys have going on, but there's this staking mechanism that you guys have built in, and the staking mechanism is different than I've seen anywhere else. And I have not read anything like you guys have in your white paper anywhere else. Can you guys talk about a little bit about the staking and kind of, how you decided to put that together? Because I think this has a lot to do with the 128%, these long 77 stakes. Am I right?
Yeah. So a little bit. So the long
exactly.
the 777 that does it. Basically, we needed a reason. We wanted people to stake for longer, as you do, because it'll take it off the market. So that's a way for people to get a benefit out of staking for longer. So we've gone for that long payout pool. However, you don't get that 777 payout pool. Do you know the 50% that comes in buys on market and then max stakes it? You won't enter that pool for that. That's only for voluntary max stakes. So everybody that voluntarily max stakes, they're getting the benefit from everybody that's entered the auction.
This is what I found different was voluntary max stakes, because there are some part of your mechanics is there's some automatic staking that happens, but then there's the voluntary as well, which is the difference. I don't see that. I mean, I've never really seen that anywhere.
Yeah. I've not seen that anywhere else, and that just means it's going to be a really juicy pool for because literally 50% of the value coming in is going to come in, and then a percentage of all of that is going into the 777 voluntary max stake pool, and the only way you can get that is if you voluntary stake. So that's going to be a really juicy pool. So that hopefully should mean a lot of people are going to voluntary max stake. So we've got 50% of the value max staking people where you don't have a choice, but you still get your 8, 28, and 88-day payout. So you're still going to get a good ROI.
Still the payouts too.
Yeah, you'll still get, as it says there, the 8, 28, and 88-day payouts when you come into the auction. But the only way to get that 777 is to do a voluntary max stake where you go in and stake it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have a very, very cool mechanics in here. That's great. This is actually rewarding people that are gonna bet on this for the long haul.
Yeah.
And I I appreciate that. That's actually why I'm staking in, HLX and in Titan X, because I believe in these protocols long term. And so I think you guys are giving people opportunity to say, yeah, you know what, we're going to believe in you long term, and you guys are rewarding people for doing that. So that's very cool.
Yeah,
I think if you just look at the auto buying stake, that's really interesting, because you are essentially, as a user who sees a nice ROI, maybe an AB on the table on the auction, you come in, you want to play the game, you want to play the Flux auction, you want to take advantage of that potential profit there. You have to put 50% of your value into the auto buying stake. It's in the contract. It's part of the transaction that you make. There's no way around it. You have to put 50% of your value into that auto buying stake. So by doing so, you are fueling the buy and burn. You're fueling the buying stake. You're filling up the pools. You're taking the Flux off the market forever, because the stakes auto restake after 2,888 days. So they'll auto restake. They are off the market forever. They're banned. We're gonna class them as banned, a little bit like Titan X does with various build on Titan X protocols. And the user is rewarded for doing so. You're gonna get all of them pulls, barring the 777. You're gonna get all of them rewards, whilst putting all of this buy pressure into the protocol that you are essentially coming in and betting on. So yeah, I think it's really interesting. I'm really excited to see how it's going to play out.
Yeah, absolutely. This is great. So yeah, this is a long-term protocol. I mean, you guys are going to be and here's the other thing. You guys basically, in one sense, you kind of built a benevolent whale into your own into the project, in the code. Like, the benevolent whale is built in code-wise. Yeah, because Dragon X came by and became a benevolent whale with Titan X, with the staking and that kind of stuff. Well, you have not similar mechanics, but a little bit, somewhat similar. But it's in the same protocol. It's not an additional protocol coming out behind it that's going to do this. So how often these auctions happen? Are these daily or weekly, or what are our auctions?
Yeah, just on your point there, what you just mentioned, it is like that, but the difference is the benevolent whale, where every single user that comes in gets the benefit instead of just the benevolent whale.
Right. But I like that.
To answer your question you just asked, sorry, yeah, it's every 24 hours. If you know Blaze distributes all of the tokens at the end of the 24 hours, whereas this was Josh's. I'll let Josh explain, sorry, because it was his a good idea, actually, which we've added in.
Yeah, I'll explain what it does first, and then I'll explain the reasons for it. So every user that comes into the auction, they participate in the same 24-hour cycle auction, but your user deposit is timestamped when you come in. So when you deposit, the timestamp is recorded in the contract, and you'll not be able to claim those tokens from the auction until 24 hours has passed from your specific deposit time. So that evenly distributes the unlocks throughout the next 24 hours. And it also gives a lot of game theory as to when you might want to come into the auction. We might see an influx early on, because the users will understand that their claims will be unlocked in the first hour of the second day. Or you could see people come in, later on, when there's different prices on the chart due to the auto buy and stake mechanic working throughout that day. So it's really interesting. It evenly distributes the unlocks through the day. It gives a bit more irregularity to the price and to the buys, unlike some other auction protocols where everything comes out at once. Sometimes there's a large profit on the table. You see a dump, it gets bought back up, and the cycle starts again. This is kind of going to turn that upside down, and is going to be completely different scenarios to what you see elsewhere.
Wow. Yeah, so it's kind of almost a little bit organic, the flow of it. In a way, once it gets started, it's going to kind of do its own thing based upon the users in a way.
Yep.
Wow. Man, this is amazing. Okay, cool. So let's say auction examples here in the white paper. Guys, if you haven't read the white paper yet, what I really like you guys to do is just go to titanxhub.com if you're new to crypto or you're new to Titanx. These are all the built on Titanx protocols here. All the links, official links are here. So if you come down here, you see Flux. Now, once Flux launches, right now it's number 18. Once it launches, it's going to be up here. It's going to jump ahead of the ones that haven't launched yet. But as of right now, it's number 18. So go over here. There's a white paper link, the X link, and the Telegram link. So just make sure you click on the white paper there. Boom, takes you right here. Read the whole thing. Also, I mean, this video is going to be good because we're deep diving into it. But just give it a read on your own. It's really just I make sure I always do that before I get into any protocol. I got to read the white paper. So anyways, that's how you find it. Titanx Hub by Mike Dean. Thanks, Mike Dean. And then also go to Flux at Flux_DeFi over on X and give them a follow as well. So, and then jump into the Telegram if you want to get deep.
Yeah, try not to all follow at once because we're on our Fed account for Flux. So I don't want to get suspended again.
Exactly. So Proof of Sleep says people are going to be racing to enter these auctions. I think you're probably right there.
Yeah, that's like Proof of Sleep is kind of, you've seen the game theory right away there, it flips the auction process upside down and people are going to be thinking, right, am I going in early? So I can get out early? Am I waiting? It's going to be, it's going to be interesting. I think there's going to be a lot of people glued to the DApp when we launch.
Yeah. There's such a cool mechanic because it's like, you don't have to wait, just like Proof of Sleep is saying right now, you don't have to wait till the last minute to enter the auction because you could basically, there's going to be different ways to play this at different times. Like you could even try one day, maybe coming in early, another day coming a little later and kind of seeing how you like to play this. Very cool. All right.
Yeah, I think it'll be a bit of both. I think there'll be a rush at the beginning, and then obviously if there's that arb opportunity at the end, which we see with Blaze, then there'll be a rush at the end as well. So it'll definitely be interesting.
Sreyok says, so is Flux similar to Hyper? Is it a compound system?
Not really, no. Josh?
Yeah, it's not similar to Hyper, but there's definitely a system within there that can be used to compound. You've got your payout pools in Titanx, which then Titanx can go back into the system. The compounding, I guess, could be looked at in a way that people may use it to just arb the price.
Mm-hmm.
That tends to be quite common with auctions is coming in for that profit. But you can come in all day long and try and take that profit, but you're going to be putting 50% into the chart and 50% into the payout pool. So come on in and come and arb it every day for all we want.
Right, I love it. You're building the value of the ecosystem. Also, you're your own benevolent whale. You're building value for the ecosystem by staking things for the long term, and you're also giving people immediate value by the game theory dynamics that you're building into this. So you have some auction examples here. Are these like different ways that people could potentially play the game?
It was more to be honest, like they're not really ways people would play. There was examples just to try and explain how the auctions work. I think you probably already get how the auctions work, but we had when we first launched the white paper, we had a lot of questions in the Telegram. So we was like, right, we need examples. So we've just added these examples. Like for example, which one is it? I'm just having a look. I think it's maybe example 1. Yeah, so example 1 is one person comes in and just buys the full auction outright. So it's very unlikely that to happen, but it was just to show how the auction works once all of that is bought out, basically.
Okay. So there is a cap. The cap is 75 billion flux per day per auction.
Yeah, for the first week, and then it does reduce by 1.2% a week.
Cool. So now we're building the hyper-deflationary in there too. Love it. Okay. Day 2, the same user wants all 75 billion flux on day 2. To deposit.
Sorry to interrupt you, but this is, we've not got into this on your stream. So day 1 is different to how we have been telling you about the auctions. From day two onwards, it works exactly how we've just described. On day one, obviously, when the protocol's first launched, there is no LP. There's no, so we don't have anything to auto buy and stake from. So day one, the first 50 billion Titan X that comes in will then be paired with 35 billion Flux, and that will be our liquidity pool. So it's only day one, 100% of what you put into the auction will go into the auction. None of it will go into the buying stake. Well, that's literally only day one.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Right.
And then from day two onwards, it works exactly how we've just described.
But you're saying say you get 100 billion coming in on day one, though, that 50 on top of the 50 is going to be part of the system.
Yeah, it won't by auto buy and stake. It will just be used as if it's the 50%. So 100% of it will be used how the 50% in the auction normally is. So it'll go. The only difference is the percentage that normally goes to the payout pools and is split across all payout pools. Day one, it all goes to the day 8 payout pool.
Oh, okay, right on.
Yeah, that's interesting. Actually, one thing on that, Scott. Do you want to explain why it could be beneficial to come in day one for the user?
Yeah, so if you go back onto that, where was we?
Examples, I think we was on.
Yeah, sorry, examples. So day one is your only day. The 100% is coming through the auction. So you're going to get 100% of your value out of the auction. So people that like those ARB opportunities, they're going to get the coins, and 100% of it goes that way. They're going to get their Flux, and then when day two starts, that's when that buy and max stake kicks in, and the LP it's a decent size. It's an LP size we've used, like similar size for Blaze, a similar size for Inferno, but it's going to have instant buy pressure. So as soon as you get your tokens the next day, you've got buy pressure there that you can sell into if you want to, if you don't want to max stake. So I don't know if there was another advantage you was thinking of as well, Josh, that I missed there. Sorry.
No, yeah, that was great. It's just that obviously, yeah, day one you come in and you've got, you haven't got that mandatory 50% going off into market buying, which is obviously bolstering the system. It's benefiting the price. It's benefiting the overall system, which is great. But day one, you can come in and all of your value that you put in it goes into that auction distribution. And it means really that the user has a potentially larger share of that 75 billion tokens that are there to auction for, because they're able to use their 100% of their value within that auction instead of the 50% being used in the system. So yeah, essentially day one is great. It's got some really good benefits to the user. Kind of encourages day one participation. But it's daily auctions. The auctions last for 8 years. There's no rush to come in. Watch what happens. Look at our contracts, do your own research, see how things play out day one. You can come in whenever you want. But if the degen in you, and if you understand the system, you're probably going to want to come in day one and start playing right away. So yeah, it's really interesting. And I like what Scott said there. I've not actually looked into that yet, about how the day one auctioners will then they'll have unlocked tokens right when there's that 50% auto buy and stake is kicking off. So that's really interesting and actually adds even more benefit to day one users. So nice.
Yeah, day one's actually, you're right. Like, if you guys are hearing this right now, keep in the loop. Make sure you give them a follow and join the Telegram, because you're going to want to. I mean, if you like this protocol, day one's the day. Well, all days are the day, but you do get an additional benefit jumping in on day one. As I see it, which that's nice, man. That's
definitely
nice.
Get a good head start for sure.
Yeah. Yep. And so the other cool thing, we got the 128.8 buy pressure, but we have the LP is Inferno. Is Flux Inferno. This is the V3 Flux Inferno LFE. So can you tell me why you chose to pair Flux with Inferno?
You got that, Scott?
I'll let you take this one because this is your baby as well, I think.
Yes. If you're in the Inferno Telegram, you'll see that my admin name is the Inferno Bull. So I'll happily take this one. Look, Inferno is on an absolute tear at the moment. It's people like users are coming in, week out. The mint is increasing, the price is increasing, the buy and burn is working like absolutely fantastic. And once this mint's finished, it becomes total cap supply, and essentially with protocols like this being built on top of it, becomes hyper deflationary right from the off. Flux will launch very shortly after the mint phase is finished. So instantly, Inferno has a buy and burn already operating on it. It will have Flux buy and burn, which is quite a hefty amount of buy and burn pressure on there. And being paired to this token, which is hyper deflationary, can only bolster and give even more strength to the Flux price. You've seen the way Hart's Law has affected all the liquidity pairing and all the bonding that we've seen across the Titan X ecosystem recently. You've seen how Dragon X has performed, with it being a hyper deflationary supply. So that's the choice. That's that was the option, is to pair it with a token that's got potential inflation, or pair it with a token that we're absolutely bullish on, that is hyper deflationary and can only benefit Flux in the long run. Adding the buy and burn to it from Flux and pairing it together is it's like a flywheel loop. So where Flux is pushing up the Inferno price, we're bonded to Inferno, we push up the Flux price, more users come into Flux, then Flux buy and burns Inferno, and the loop continues. So I'm pretty excited about that, as you can probably tell.
Yeah, I mean, I look at this chart. Like, I've literally never been involved in a chart that looks like this from the beginning. This chart is juicy, guys. I mean, if you've ever looked at charts, there's usually a big pop, just like Titan X. Everything goes really up at the beginning, and then it crashes, and then you try to find that top again. This is different. This is like up and to the right, the whole chart. Now, I mean, not financial advice, guys. Do your own research, learn how to read charts on your own. But when I'm looking at this, I'm like, this is bullish. This is like really, really bullish. It's going to be completely in price discovery. I mean, we're literally completely in price discovery. We're going to be over max highs here real soon, like probably tomorrow during the mint or Saturday. But, I obviously, guys, not financial advice. Do your own research here. But this looks so juicy to me.
Yeah, I mean, Shreyas just said there, no sellers, only diamond hand holders. And the only real sellers that we're seeing are the people who are playing the ARB game, coming in, minting, selling into the buy and burn, coming back in, minting, making a tidy profit. Some people are making 20% a week on that. So
right.
fair play to the people who mastered that system. And they're the only real sellers that we're seeing. Everyone else is diamond handing. They know it's coming. People want to build. Buy and burns are what's he said there? Buy and burns seem to be the new narrative. And yeah, I can really see this doing stuff. Not financial advice, but I'm super bullish on it. I really am.
Me too. I really do love, like I said, Inferno is my favorite protocol so far. I mean, I love them all. Like, I love Dragon X and everybody, but Inferno has been my favorite because, I think a lot of times in crypto, everybody's like, oh, we want the 10,000 X's, we want the 1,000 X's, we want the 100 X's, and those are great. And I think we're actually going to be getting them in the Titan X protocol. But, a solid 10% on your money every week is like a solid 15. It's like, goodness, 20%, goodness. I mean, where are we getting that? Like, that's not even a game you can play anywhere that I know of other than crypto and degen plays. So guys, these are risky. These are experiments we're playing, but like, I mean, I'm taking my big, huge, fat dreams, bringing them back down to daily reality and saying, hey, a 10% return any day is really something that compounds quickly over time.
Yeah, it's been really good. We've got not to sidetrack too much, but we've got the mint cycle starting tomorrow again, so that'd be really cool to see. The more attention we get on Inferno, the more we get on the buy and burn. That's going to trickle into Flux, and it's going to, it's only going to give Flux's pairing even more strength. So, bullish on Inferno, bullish on Flux, and timing is everything. So, yeah, we'll see. It's going to be.
Now, how do we play Flux? Are we playing Flux with Titan X Liquid?
Yep. So Liquid Titan X only. Deposit the Titan X into the protocol, and all the contracts do all the allocations in the background.
All right, well, let's talk about distribution real quick. We have these are the distributions on for the Titan X when it gets deposited. So we have 10% Titan X buys Blaze, swaps to Inferno, then burns it. That's great. It actually helps. We're helping 3 different ecosystems immediately. Buy and Blaze through the Blaze Inferno LP, right? Yep, exactly. So that's awesome. And then we go 30%, 36% straight Flux buy and burn. Awesome. 40% reward pulls. I love this. That's great. You're stacking the rewards. 4% Titan X sent to the Dragon X vault. See, now you guys are actually serving the rest of the community, helping the whole, like the dragon's hungry, guys. The dragon is hungry. We got to feed this dragon.
Feed the dragon. Feed the dragon.
Feed the dragon, baby. And then also
Eric don't like hashtags, but maybe that's one we can start coining. Hashtag feed the dragon.
Feed the dragon, baby. And then I love this piece you guys got in, which actually also helps a second part of the ecosystem, because we're all part of the same ecosystem here. I love Helios. I'm mining a crap ton of Helios right now, and I really do love it. A lot more to come with Helios, but I love this. You guys so it's similar to the Dragon X Vault. The Helios Treasury has a similar benevolent whale process within the Titan X ecosystem. So this is really not only helping out the Helios Treasury, but it's also helping out the entire Titan X ecosystem, both of these. So that's great.
There's a bit of secret sauce on the 36% Flux buy and burn, because actually the mechanic for that, or the route that it takes, is Titan X buys Inferno, and then Inferno buys Flux and burns the Flux, but 20% of that value within that Flux buy and burn actually just straight burns the Inferno. So it's like a second buy and burn within the protocol.
Whoa, okay, gotcha. So Titan X buys Inferno, and then 20% of that Inferno is immediately burnt, and the remaining 80%. So the whole thing does not. So you're not taking the whole buy and burn and buying Flux and burning the Flux. You're creating additional buy pressure on Inferno and Flux with one buy and burn.
Exactly. And actually, I know you're quite into your getting your numerology correct in the protocols and that, Dev. So that actually, when you take the 20% of 36, you get 28.8%, which is quite nice.
Yeah, I like the numerology stuff. I mean, Jake started it, and Jake's probably, I mean, I don't know. There's probably smarter. I mean, who knows? Jake's super smart with it. I just find it fascinating. There definitely are pleasing numbers. Like sometimes, there's certain numbers that are pleasing to look at. I think 8s are one of those numbers. So it's kind of fun to kind of see how this all works out. But that's awesome. Yeah, love it, dude. And I love your graphics. You guys are killing it on the graphics too.
Yeah, that's one of them, Dave. We were talking about it earlier. Once you start getting into that flow of marketing, X posting, Telegram, and it kind of, once it hooks you, that's it. You can never escape that that marketing grasp. Same with the artwork. Like, Scotty does a lot of the artwork. I do a lot of the artwork, and man, it gets addictive. So addictive.
Yes, it does get addictive, and it's, you know, but it's fun because the addictive part about this is actually we're getting to know our community a little bit better. We're you know, we have awesome community members. Like everybody in the community is like amazing, and I love the hustle because like everybody's like on it, and we're all supporting each other. So I'm just super excited about this ecosystem. I've really never. I've heard about this kind of stuff happening in crypto before, but there was always that looming undercurrent of VCs rugging a project, even a great project, because there was always been these people coming in and, you know, investing in a project that's not fair launch, a normal project out in the crypto world. Even if the founders have great intentions, if they try to raise money through VC and give them 50% of the tokens right up front, now these VCs can come in. These VCs don't care about you. Like the price will pump and the VCs will pull the whole community. And that's really what I like about TitanX and what we're doing build on TitanX, because it's rug resistant, because we're not asking for these big, huge investments from VCs. In fact, you guys are building this on your own dime. And when it starts, if you want to participate, you're buying in just like everybody else. And this is huge. Like if you guys are hearing this for the first time right now on the stream, like understand fair launch is something that is just so important for me now moving forward, especially as an investor. If I'm jumping into projects, like I don't want it to be able to be rugged. I want to, well, hey, maybe there's eventually some whales will grab a whole bunch, but ultimately it's got to get there. It doesn't have to happen like boom. But the other thing is everybody cares about everybody in this community. And if the founders have to buy in on day one with you, boom, that just feels great to me. I mean, so thank you guys for doing it that way also, by the way.
It's I think it's incredible to see actually how you know, how the community is really ramped up recently. It's kind of electric. You know, every Telegram chat you go in is great discussion. You know, people sending artwork and videos all over the place. It's absolutely brilliant, and I think that is purely based on the fact that, you know, the TitanX principles were, you know, with the fair launch and the community aspect is you don't mind putting your all into this. You know, community members, the whole token holders, the token buyers, they want to put everything in because they know that, you know, only the community earns and runs these protocols and these tokens. So like you say, there's no risk of putting all this energy in, putting all this work in, you know, being passionate, falling in love with the protocols and the community, and then boom, the carpet's pulled from under your feet and everything's gone. There's, you know, that isn't going to happen here. So it's really
exactly. And even on the predecessors of TitanX, so the Richard Hartz. Now, I don't got anything against him, but when you really look at that whole process, he built an inflationary coin that is only inflationary. And when you build that inflation in right away, but you don't give opportunities for that deflation to happen, it's not even the same. Like this is an upgrade. TitanX ecosystem is an upgrade to every single, you can mark my words on this, cryptocurrency project out there. There is nothing like TitanX. There's nothing like this ecosystem. And it's because Jake built math. He did math right. And he cares, you know, and then, yeah, anyways, I'm just, wow. Love it.
Yeah, agreed.
What kind of questions you guys have? We have 68 people on the stream right now, probably some more on YouTube. I don't think it's counting all those. So thanks guys for joining us, everybody. If you have not if you're not following yet, go to @Flux_DeFi here on X. Make sure you give them a follow. And then if you go to TitanXHub.com by Mike Dean, you can go down to number 18 right here. You can see the white paper link for Flux. You can see the X official links here. So go there, click on the socials, give everybody a follow, check out the white paper, and get your liquid TitanX ready for tomorrow for Inferno. Not financial advice. That's what I'm doing though. So what else we got? What else we guys want to talk about? What's up, Sergio? Sreyax, Revo, what's going on? Rusty, Proof of Sleep, you guys are amazing. Ali, High Grade, y'all are amazing. So what else we want to talk about, guys? What's some of the biggest? So if say does someone have to really understand this, or is this something someone that's like, ooh, this is fascinating, I just want to kind of try it out and kind of see what it is? I mean, what do you guys think about what's the education level to jump into Flux?
I think yeah, anyone can come in. Obviously, you know, one of the actually sort of things that we have only just sort of implemented last week was there's no minimum or maximum amount that you can deposit into the auction. So you know you can come in with literally, you know, as little Titan X as you want to you know, to test it, to play with it.
Oh, cool.
You know, it's very open to smaller players or bigger players who don't want to, you know, come in right away with a lot of their Titan X. So yeah, I think that's good. There's no minimum amount to come in. That allows anyone to come in and try it out.
Yeah, if you guys have like $20 worth of Titan X or $100 worth of Titan X, and you're like, hey, you know what? Let's just try this out. Like that's actually a good way, because for me, I won't really learn anything unless I got a little bit of skin in the game. You know, if you put just a little bit of skin in the game, don't overdo it. Don't FOMO or any of that stuff. You know, do your research. But a little skin in the game allows you to play the games how they're not. I mean, I'm not calling them games. It's decentralized finance here, but they're gamified in my opinion. So, you know, start with a little bit. Don't stress yourself out. Don't be taking credit cards out and doing this if you don't know what you're doing. Just making sure you start with a little bit, test the waters, and then hey, try not to get addicted. But I'm not doing good at that part. I'm definitely getting a little bit addicted, but it's in a good way. Why not? We're gonna get addicted to the Titan X ecosystem and some games here and there. Sounds good.
Shreo X has got a question there. Any benefits to hodling your Flux? So I would say, and we're going to do a full loop back to the beginning of the stream, because your first question was, what is and how does this 128.8% buy and stake mechanic work? So, you know, you can hodl your Flux. You can buy it on market, or you can get it from the auction, whichever way, you know, is your preferred route. And everything that comes into those auctions after you, 50% of that value goes back into buying the token that you're holding. So, you know, there's a potential there for some price appreciation on, you know, when you got that token. You know, not financial advice, but there is coded in buy pressure. I hate saying it, but there is buy pressure coded into the contract. That is exactly what the contract says it's going to do, and that's what it will do. So, yeah, it kind of sounds like a marketing statement, but it is factual at the same time.
It's the benevolent whale that you built into the code.
Yes, exactly.
And not only that, if you're going to hodl your coins, there's the only benefit of max staking is getting in that 777 pool. So your minimum length is 90 days. So if you are going to hodl your coins, you've got to sort of, I suppose I'd be thinking, am I holding them for longer than 90 days? And if I was planning on that, then I'd probably stake them for the 90 days.
Yeah, good point.
Get the rewards.
If you want to hodl, you might actually be able to maximize that strategy by a voluntary stake, so you can get into the 777 club. So Stray's actually asking again, maybe you can explain the 777 club again.
Yeah, so the only way into the 777 club is to voluntary max stake for 2,888 days. So when you go into the auction, half of your value buys on market and max stakes. That's involuntary, so you don't get in the 777. The only way you get in the 777 is to voluntary max stake with the tokens that you either got out of the auction or you've personally bought on market. And yeah, it's a fourth reward pool, 777.
So similar to Blaze then, Stray's asking?
I suppose in a way, because you've got we've got our 3 normal reward pools, and then we've got a longer out reward pool. So in Blaze, it's an 888 pool, and the only way to get that is to get a Diamond Hand Club, and that was if you stake 4,000 Blaze. Whereas here, there's no limit. You don't have to have so many $1,000 to get in that 7-7 pool. Anyone can get in that 7-7 pool, even if it's with $10 worth of Titan X buying the Flux. You will be in that 7-7 pool for your fair share.
That's such a good point. That's a great point, because albeit similar, yeah, there's this diamond hand pool, that people love. They want to push their value that they have now into the future, which is great. It's a really sensible way to approach investment. But the difference is, and this is the key difference, is there's, like Scott says, there's no amount that you have to put in there. So anyone can be diamond handed and have access to that share of that pool. The main thing that I like about the staking, and as Scott touched on that there, you can, if you want to hodl and you're hodling for 90 days, there's no share rate, there's no share bonus. So there's no longer pays better, no bigger pays better. It's just your share in that pool. If you
cool. Okay.
Yeah, so I think that essentially gives like a fairer distribution of the Titan X that comes out of the reward pools.
Right. So that's cool. So it's not a bigger pays more or longer pays more. It's actually just, it's the same. It actually kind of levels the playing field really for everybody that doesn't have a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Very cool. All right, this is great. All right, let me see if we got any other questions here. Yes, let the Flux flywheel spin, baby. Absolutely. Dude is a real dude, and Crypto Awesome is really awesome. Hey, thanks, Ali. You're awesome too, dude.
What's up, Ali? Nice to see you in here, man.
Let's see here. Been living Titan X for neither a year now. Everybody, I know, Revo. I literally can't stop thinking about it either. So thanks, Jake. In a good way. So we have 99 people on this stream right now. We're growing. If you guys want to give this stream a like and go ahead and share it on your profile so all your people can get this awesome info. So, all right. So I'm going to ask the question that everybody wants to ask right now. So when Flux?
When?
When, baby? When?
We have progressed really well this week. Contracts were finished end of last week. All the dev tests have been done. We've tested our end, and we already have our first auditor is already officially started auditing today. So
okay, great. Yeah.
So there's no wins on this stream, unfortunately. Maybe next time we jump on stream, we'll be either just about to launch or we'll already have launched, Dave. So it's not too far in the future.
I had to ask because everybody's asked, but I knew I wasn't probably going to get an answer today, but that's all right. I love having you guys on no matter what. So always we got to do more of these. And if people have not seen your stream with the builders with Ali, the weekly Blaze, the last stream that you guys did, you guys have to watch that. Like everybody has to. That's like a must watch for the Titan X ecosystem. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere around here, but I'll find it for you guys. But anyways, go check on my page. I posted the crap out of it, but literally it's so much alpha in there. You don't want to just watch it once either. You kind of actually need to watch it twice. Well, especially if you're going to be a builder, because it was just so much. Build on Flux, baby.
Yes.
Build on Flux. Love the idea of that.
I actually, I'm actually in discussions with someone who's putting together a protocol that could be building on top of Flux. So that's pretty interesting. We've not even launched yet.
I know. I love it. Flywheels on flywheels, man. I mean, dude. So Blaze is kind of like, built on. So we're basically leverage right now because Inferno is built on Blaze. Blaze is built on Titan X. Titan X is on ETH. So that's already 3 layers down. Now Flux is on Inferno. That's a 4th layer. Deflation on deflation. Exactly. Sticky ecosystem. So guys, this has been such a great stream. I actually do want to keep going, but I have to jump here pretty quick. But
Yep.
let's kind of wrap this up for everybody. I usually do longer streams than an hour, but let's kind of keep it at an hour right now. So what do you guys think that we should leave people with here about Flux?
Yeah, so the main thing I think people need to get their heads around, or if they're wanting to participate, is that 128.8% buy and burn, and how and why that is. Because I think once you realize how that exactly works and why it's 128.8%, that's when the light bulb moment goes off. I've had a few conversations with different people, some on video, and you can see the light bulb moment. And so that's the main one. And if you still don't understand it, jump in our Telegram and ask us a question, and we will come up with different ways to explain it, because it's not something that many people get on the first read, to be honest.
I actually did have to read it. I had to read the white paper twice, and actually, I'm glad we did this stream, because it's allowing it to cement it into my brain a little bit more. Because actually, that first read, I was like, my jaw was like, it's like in the old 80s movies when someone says something and they're eating a Twizzler, and then they open their mouth and the Twizzler falls out. But that's kind of like first read of Flux. I was like, whoa. I was like Neo in the Matrix, like, whoa. And then I had to go back and read it again, which still I didn't quite all the way understand it, but I'm getting there now. I really am. I mean, you guys have built something that is simple on the front, yet it's got all of these amazing mechanics to it. So really, really good job, guys.
I think I sent the white paper out to a few in real life friends and family who are into crypto, and they thought I was trolling them at the start with some of these with some of the numbers and the figures that we've put in there, and they were like, "Oh, that's just marketing. You're just trolling us." And when I explained it and went through it with them, they realized actually it is simple processes, but it's just done in a clever way, which could really add some value to this protocol. And I think for me, I want to leave it with, it seems complex. It's really not on the front end. It's going to be really nice and simple. The UI is sexy and clean and slick. It's going to be great. People are going to love it. And Scott and Irish Crypto, the other two founders, are working on some explainer videos. So they're going to be cool, animated videos, really simple, straightforward stuff. So we're going to start chucking them out before launch. And we're going to be on stream every week talking about it. And by the time we're launching, it's going to be ingrained in everyone's minds, and it's going to be more fun than complex, I think.
Love it. Yeah. Love it so much. Awesome. Well, hey guys, definitely go make sure you've gone to DeFi at Flux_DeFi here on X. Give them a follow. Check out the Telegram if you are a diehard OG and you need to know more information. Jump in there. You can ask any questions. These guys are great. I mean, they literally will talk to you, so that they're not out of your realm of talking to. Just send them a message. Have any questions. These guys are real guys. So definitely.
Yeah, Scott will even jump on voice calls with anyone and explain it.
I've done that. I've done that a couple of times. So no problem if you don't get it. I'm there for you. I'll make sure by the time you finish speaking to me, you're fed up with me, but you get it.
Nice. Awesome. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and call it right there, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys are amazing. And until next time, my name's Dave. Crypto Awesome out.